going on, everybody out there? This is Popular Stranger, and we are back at you again today with another episode of MUT Recap. This is our weekly series here on YouTube, each and every Monday, where we recap the week of MUT, talk about everything going on in Madden 20, in Madden 20 Ultimate Team. Let's go ahead and start with our Weekend League recap. And Weekend League was a big L for me this weekend. We regressed for sure. Last week, 18 wins. This week, only 16. Very, very frustrating. I felt like my number one problem was my play calling. Offense just did not go as well for me this week. I felt like at times I was forcing things, trying for too many one-play touchdowns. A couple times I played some people who played really, really good man coverage. For the most part, I haven't struggled against man coverage, but I don't know, man. A couple games, literally could just not get any separation on a lot of routes that normally crush or beat man coverage. It just was not happening. That mixed with a couple games where I just got gashed defensively just didn't go well. It's strange and frustrating because I felt like last week when I won the 18 games, the quality of my opponents felt much greater, much more difficult. This week, there was at least 4 to 5 games out of my 9 losses that their opponents, I know everybody says this, I'll beat you if I play you again. I just really felt like if there was one or two plays that went a different way, could have won those games. Definitely winnable games, but losses on my part. I messed up, no excuses. I don't feel that I got cheated in any of these games. Just games I didn't close out on. Blew a couple leads, so tough weekend league for me. 16 wins. The goal is going to be 18 minimum every week, and we got to get better. Really frustrating too, because I added so many good cards, so many new players to my team, and we still didn't do as well as we did last week. Very frustrating. We'll get back at it, and I really had to fight for that 16th win. I had 15 wins going in with, with one game to play and had to get it, which is also unfortunate because I had, 15 wins with 3 games to play, and I had to clutch out the last 3, and then we lost 2 in a row and won the final one. So let me know how your weekend league went. Let me know if you were running in any things that gave you problems, any type of plays, defenses, offenses, things you need help with gameplay-wise. Let me know about the disconnects too, because disconnects, I didn't have any again. I think I got 1 win off of a disconnect. Unfortunate for my opponent, but we both got to the top 3 screen. It said connection was lost, and I ended up getting the win. But I feel like just searching on Twitter and whatnot, didn't see a lot of news or tweets or anger about disconnects compared to the previous 2 weeks. So maybe it's something EA is getting under control. Also, a lot less 25-0s this week. Only 3. I think last week we had quite a few. So we'll quickly scroll through the top 25 here. A lot of familiar names. Some guys that beat me. Noah had 23 wins. He beat me last week. We saw Versace with 24 wins. He beat me last week. So I'm losing to some guys that are pretty good. I know my guy Abel. Shoutouts to Abel with 22 wins. We got the W against him last week. So, I'm not that bad, right? 16 wins, I don't think defines my game as a Madden player in Madden 21. But we got to be better. We definitely got to get better. Looks like 20 wins with a 95 strength of schedule. Got into the top 100. I think last week, 20 wins only took like 7 of the top 100 spots. I could be totally wrong there. So, about 30 people with 20 wins got in this time and only a 95 strength of schedule. So maybe less people are playing Weekend League already than the first 2 weeks. Little surprised the numbers going down that quickly, but there is your top 100. Congrats to everybody that made it there. If you made it on Xbox, congrats to you. A very busy week in MUT, like a lot going on. Let's go ahead and get into it. With the weekly content, it seems like Mondays we're not going to be getting anything, and because we get so much content throughout the week now, assuming they keep this schedule, I'm okay with that. So I guess Monday you could say is solo battle day. That's the day the solo battles refreshes. That's the content. Tuesday, we get team of the week. Now, another thing that came last week on Tuesday was a brand new patch. And with that patch, they broke something. The catching. Catching got broken. Receivers were dropping wide open passes. Very, very frustrating. Luckily, and I'm fast forwarding a little bit, Thursday morning, we got a patch to fix that. And that issue was resolved. Some people think that it kind of messed up defensive catching. I don't think it changed anything out of the normal. DBs drop passes, drop interceptions regardless. I don't think that got any different. Some people think it did. After playing 25 weekend league games, I don't think there was any difference there. But also Tuesday, with that patch, they addressed the chew clock issue. And while it's not as bad, the clock still chews. And now I believe, and many believe, that this was purposely done by EA to limit or slow down the amount of hot routes that more skilled and advanced players might be able to make, giving them less time to make pre-play adjustments, which kind of benefits lesser skilled players who aren't as quick to be able to do those things or be able to create route combinations that can get people open a lot. So it just feels like they're catering to the lesser skilled players, therefore narrowing the skill gap, which will always be a problem of mine. I think this game needs to have a skill gap. If I'm better than you, I don't want a bunch of fluky plays and in-game mechanics to limit my ability to be better than you. Not that I'm the greatest player, but there's definitely some people that are much worse than me, but that could stay in a game with me because of things. I don't believe in DDA, but I do think there are just certain things that happen within a game that are too randomly generated. Let's just say that. And I think this whole chew clock thing is a little unfortunate. So that's what happened in the patch. Otherwise, I think the game is still playing pretty smooth after the patch, now that they fixed the catching issue. My obvious big fear here is that they continue to overpatch the game throughout the year and it gets worse and worse and worse like it's happened in past years. I honestly think unless there's any type of game breaking exploits, I would prefer if they don't patch the game at all anymore going forward, other than the obvious bugs, right? So also Tuesday, we got Team of the Week. Some strange choices. Khalil Mack got a card, CMC got a card. I didn't really understand those, which kind of makes me just overly confused on who I'm going to predict for Team of the Weeks every week. They had solid games, but I didn't think Team of the Week game worthy games. Player of the Week was Dak. The limited was Mark Andrews. I just want to reiterate this. I can't speak in this video for some reason. My apologies. The limited card that comes out for Team of the Week is not based on the current year performance. It's a past performance. People were confused with Mark Andrews getting a card, and he had one catch for 25 yards and no touchdowns. That's because it was based off of a previous performance. We also have the Team of the Week heroes, which are kind of the flashback or legends. And we got this week Marvin Harrison and DeQuell Jackson. Strange, right? Team of the Week heroes, 89 overalls, pretty good cards. I thought they were both pretty solid. Thinking back on it as I was prepping for this video, I don't think I faced either of those cards the entire weekend league. I don't think I ever saw Marvin Harrison or DeQuell Jackson on the field. Pretty interesting there. But those were the Team of the Weeks. I would say Team of the Week 1 was probably better than Team of the Week 2. Hopefully Team of the Week 3 will be better. We did see an increase in overalls in some cards, like 91. So do we now see the limiteds be a 91 for this week and the Player of the Week and the heroes be 90s? I'll be curious to see if they do that for tomorrow's content. We'll see. Wednesday, we got Veterans. Wildcard Wednesday, I really like the feature this year. Every Wednesday, we're going to get a group of 5 cards based off of promotions or programs that we are familiar with. The first week, it was heavyweights. The second week, it was veterans, and they gave veterans 89 overalls. Veterans have been kind of the laughing stock of MUT over the last couple years. Not very usable cards, but this year they gave them 89s to keep in line with the 89 heavyweights, and there were 2 solid cards out of the 5, I think. The Golden Tate card, which I have on my team, pretty good card. And then the Jonathan Joseph, a very balanced and pretty fast cornerback. He has with the right chems, you can get him to 90 zone, 90 man, and 90 speed. Again, with the right chems, but still very balanced, very fast. I ended up pulling him out of this pack, and then I ended up selling him. I was going to give him a try, but at the end of the day, with all the new cards that came out after this point, I wouldn't have ended up keeping him anyway. But I still think a very, very solid card. Thursday, we got our limiteds. Limiteds are going to be coming every Thursday, and the 2 that we got this week were K1 Short and Delvin Cook. A little bit of a debacle with the K1 Short. I'll say this, I've said it a million times, do not open up packs until you see the limited cards on the auction house. K1 Short was not in packs for a while. No mention of make rights from EA. I don't know why or why not they are not doing them. I would have preferred if they at least addressed it and said, hey, our bad. We're either going to give make rights because of this, or we're not going to give make rights because of that. The fact that, as far as I know, they didn't address it is a bit of an L. I can't say that that's good business practice, but future reference, guys, anytime a limited's coming out, check that auction house first. Make sure it's on the auction house before you start ripping packs to try to pull it. Then came along Friday, and holy content did we get. So Series 2 came out. They announced it on Thursday. It was a big surprise to me and most of the community. They were like, hey, Series 2 is coming tomorrow, by the way. No kind of prep time for it or anything, but I'm happy it happened. One goof up that they kind of had with trophies is that they said they're not going to convert. They're not going to get cut in half. They're going to convert to a 1-to-1 rate, which is really cool, but it would have been nice to maybe give advance warning because some people assumed that they would be getting cut in half and probably dumped them all. So luckily, you know, for those of you that watch my videos, I advise you to wait until they announced a Series Master before you made a decision. So hopefully those of you that watch my videos listen to what I said and didn't quick sell your trophies, and now you have them all as Series 2 trophies. With Series 2, we got brand new team builders with the Team Affinity section, plus solos. We got trophies got converted, like I mentioned. We got a brand new level cap with a new power-up pass of 89 to 90. We got some Series Redux cards, specifically Brandon Cooks, Julio Jones, some of the higher target, bigger wanted items, Bo Jackson. We got the upgrades to Level Master, MUT Master, and our team captains. So I would have liked to see more solos. I was kind of hoping that Rivals would get an update on the Series 2 drop, but it did not. We should get a Rivals upgrade eventually from, you know, today up until the end of Series 2. So hopefully that comes sooner rather than later. But I think Series 2 overall was a W. It was fine. We got, you know, we got some content there. But the bigger stuff that came out was the 50. The 50 came out Friday afternoon, and I'm extremely excited about this promo. I think the whole community is. We got to start off with 8 cards. It's going to be 50 cards over the span of 14 weeks. And you get 2 of these cards free just for playing solo. Some of the best cards in the game. So every week going forward after this initial drop of 8 cards, we're going to get 3 more of these guys. And if you keep up with your solos, eventually when we get to tier 8, 52 stars, you're going to get a full 50 player, and then once again later on at the end of the program, tier 16, you're going to get another one. So you're potentially getting 2 for free of the best cards in the game. We got introduced to 91 overalls with all of these guys. They're pretty much all really good cards. We got the free solos. We got a bunch of items. You know, we're going to get these other solos here too. I don't know if this milestone section will continue to expand. I'm guessing it will, but you get a lot of these Nat 81 overall cards which go into the set, so you can potentially, you know, with all these, build out one of these sets for a lot cheaper than it would be. The only kind of L that I think this promo is having right now is that the power-ups are stupid expensive, so if you don't do the set and just buy the card outright and you want to power them up, you got to pay a hefty price for the power-up. It would be nice not to give the power-ups free in a solo, but maybe boost up the pack odds on them a little bit, because paying 200k for a power-up card is a little bit outrageous. But it's also not a bad idea to do some of these sets, sell the power-up, keep the card. You kind of, you know, make back some of the profit that it costs you to do the set overall. So there's a lot of different ways you can kind of play the market. And speaking of the market, obviously, we had a huge legend crash. Not a huge legend crash. I really can't speak today. We had a huge market crash, and that was partly because of the 50, and then, of course, with the brand new legends that came out Saturday, Michael Vick, Deion Sanders, 2 of the biggest names that MUT usually has. The market dropped a ton. Training got extremely cheap. Cards themselves got really cheap. If you were looking to build your squad, this is the perfect weekend to do it. If you were looking to sell cards this weekend, hopefully you did not, because you probably lost a lot of revenue, a lot of value on your cards there. The market tanked a lot. It's still kind of down. There's still a lot of higher overall cards that were very valuable and very desired last week that are pretty low in price, even this Monday morning. So if you're still looking to buy and upgrade your squad, certainly go check it out before prices start to go up a little bit. I think one of the biggest questions that I got during my Twitch streams all weekend is, you know, is the market going to go back up? And my answer will always be, I shouldn't say always, but it was always to everybody that asked this weekend, it's not going to go back to where it was because those prices were a bit high, but it's not going to stay where it's at. It'll float somewhere in between. It's going to go up and down for a few days. Ultimately, yes, it's going to go back up. Just don't expect it to be, you know, the range of 45 to 50 coins per training point. We're not going to see those days again. Luckily, those days are over. We got as low as, I think, like 25, 26, 27 coins per training point as far as how the market goes. So a lot of bargains to be made. You know, I started a no money spent series. We dropped a video Saturday night on that and made some upgrades to that squad. But all in all, it was a great week of content. Hopefully they follow it up with another banger week of content. Today's Monday, of course. Once again, we did not get anything, and that's okay. Tomorrow, Team of the Week. We'll talk about our predictions in a moment. Wednesday, Wildcard Wednesday. One would have to assume and think that it's going to be flashbacks this Wednesday, which is pretty cool. So if you got some training, you know, one idea that people are having here is training is really cheap right now compared to what it was. It could definitely go back up Wednesday because people are going to be thirsty for those flashback packs. Again, assuming we're getting flashbacks on Wednesday, it's a good assumption. People are going to want training to try to rip those packs. Again, assuming we get good names as well. But that's what I guess that's what I'm expecting on Wednesday. Thursday, we got limiteds. Who knows who they'll be, but I'm sure we'll get 291 overalls. Friday, we're going to get the second part of the 50, 3 more cards. So many names that could be in that promo. I think I'm going to put out a video of a list of names that could potentially get 50 cards. Some fun ones, some obvious ones, so stay tuned for that. Probably coming up this week. Saturday, of course, Legends, and that's really it. But we know that we're getting content Tuesday through Saturday now, and that's just something every day to look forward to. I'm cool with no content on Sundays. That's football day. Like, I barely even get on MUT on Sundays other than Sunday night because I'm prepping for football day. I'm watching football all day. Sundays are cool. Mondays, you know, would it be nice to get something, of course, but it is what it is. Go play your solo battles if you're into that. Team of the Week predictions. I think they're going to find themselves in a weird spot very soon because the trend here is that guys who have power-ups are getting the Team of the Week upgrades. That's going to get old, and it's going to get old really fast. So based off of that, you know, specification, my guess is here, Derrick Henry, Elvin Kamara, Tom Brady, maybe Tyler Lockett. I mean, the dude had 4 touchdowns in a game, right? You got to reward him. Or was it 3? No, I'm pretty sure it was 4. Regardless, he had a lot of touchdowns. You kind of got to reward him, even if he already got a card. Harrison Smith, Brandon Graham, Jordan Poyer, and Aaron Donald. Those are going to be my guesses based off the trends from previous weeks. But there's guys out there that are having really good weeks and need Team of the Week cards. I really, really want to see EA start to build power-ups for these guys. If they're only giving upgrades to guys who have power-ups, build these guys power-ups as well. Xavier Rhodes, 2 picks and a pick 6. Eldon Smith. Even Pop is giving Cowboys players some love. And then Josh Allen. I think Josh Allen ends up being player of the week. We'll see, because it's been very offensively based so far. We got a quarterback last week. Do we get one again? But somehow, you got to give Josh Allen a card, right? I mean, unless he's slated for a promo card coming up soon. So I don't know what they're going to do with this Team of the Week dilemma and only giving guys who have power-ups the +1s. They got to figure a way to incorporate these other guys who are having really good weeks. Give them power-ups. The more power-ups in the game, absolutely the better. And that's going to wrap up the week of MUT. Leave your Team of the Week predictions down below in the comment section. We did hit 91 overall. I'm not going to go through my whole team because that's probably going to be slated for another video this week. But you see my top 3. I mean, we picked up Vic. We got Nandi gooned up to a 95. We got Dion on the squad. Barry Sanders to a 95. I picked up a bunch of them, but I'm going to do a whole in-depth breakdown of my team within the next couple days, so we'll save it for a separate video. Thank you guys again for tuning in. My name is Popular Stranger. I'm out. Peace.